Overwhelmed is one of the biggest TikTok success stories of all time, but few artists manage to sustain a career after blowing up on TikTok. So what did Royal and the Serpent do differently to leverage this viral song into a major career? Overwhelmed was the product of a perfect storm. Royal had been working hard on music for years, moving around LA, writing and eventually releasing in 2017. However, in 2020, she finally signed a deal with Atlantic Records. One really interesting thing about this story, though, is that you could tell Royal was adamant it was time to make it, as the song she released before signing has the lyric that says, "I'll make it in 2020, 2020, and the whole song is essentially a manifestation of what happened with her next track. Overwhelmed was scheduled to be her first release on Atlantic Records, but a couple of things went wrong when 2 weeks before the release, some of the key parts of the marketing campaign pulled out of the release. It was mid-pandemic and America was on its knees culturally, and the label weren't sure what to do with the release in regards to marketing. But Mike, Royal's manager, thought fast and came up with a whole new campaign in a matter of days. He studied hours of TikTok and came up with a new marketing plan for the release. He pitched it to Royal, and both Royal and Mike put their own money into the release to see if the plan would work, and if it did, they would bring the results back to the label and ask them to scale the campaign with the label's budget. Mike and Royal weren't taking no for an answer. They were going to do everything it took to get the song off the ground, and that's exactly what they did. Keep in mind this is still in the early days of TikTok, and only a handful of songs have gone viral on the platform. However, the label were extremely impressed with the campaign and started scaling it, investing in lots of TikTok influencers, and they essentially doubled down on TikTok and started placing the song everywhere. The song was growing rapidly, and next they released a series of remixes. The label pitched their A-list artists as options for the remix, but Royal trusted her gut and went with her friend Mothica and Christian Gates instead, as Christian had done a version on TikTok that was doing really well, and Royal felt it was more organic than getting a major artist on the remix. The remix connected and continued to go viral on TikTok, building the streams on both versions. The final step of the campaign was radio, and this was the final factor in the song going global. But where did Royal go next to leverage a career? She had 4 songs ready and went back to another release cycle, but this time making a statement. She wasn't trying to outdo her viral song, she was trying to build and impact the fans she now had. So she released a short EP from the hype from Overwhelmed, and since then, Royal has continued to release singles and EPs, leaning more and more into her alt and rock side. The key takeaway is that Royal and her manager move fast and don't get caught up in the hype, because they're focused on building a community, not just manufacturing chart-topping pop hits. Royal now has an incredible foundation under her, as well as support from the major stars of the world such as Demi Lovato, who she just went on tour with. When you get a viral moment, you have to be prepared for it. Have songs ready and not worry about whether they do as well as your viral songs, as that is virtually impossible.